Hey, Anton here from GT Canada. Today we're working on my Ford Flex again. I've got a sticky brake on the passenger rear side that has been plaguing me for a while now. So I think I've got it figured out. I'm going to show you what I'm doing to fix this and how you can fix it as well. So the first thing you need to do is jack the car up and take the wheel off and take the caliper part off. We're going to leave the frame on, but take the caliper off. We're also going to pull the pads out of the frame so that we can expose everything here. The reason we're doing this is I have already replaced the caliper because the one that I had was kind of sticky. This one moves a lot more free. So we want to make sure that that's good first. The caliper is usually the first thing that goes on every other vehicle. So if you think yours is sticky when you did your brakes, when you're spinning this in to push it back in to set it up, if it's tight at all, you'll want to replace that so that it's not causing problems. The other thing you want to do is make sure that these are sliding in and out freely. Now I've pulled them off and greased them. I can pop these boots off so you can see here. So I've pulled this off, added some extra grease, made sure that it slides in and out free. These can also bind up on you, and that'll cause problems with the brakes sticking as well. But I believe my issue is when these pads, when they're inside here, they're very tight. Now I've pulled the clips out already so that I can clean this up. But what happens is, these little clips here, normally you've got them on the top and the bottom. They get rust built up underneath them, and that makes them push up a bit into your discs, into your pads, and then your pads won't slide in and out from the brakes easily. So as your caliper pinches it, it won't release. And so that's why it's binding. The other thing that you can check is your e-brake cable here. So this piece here lifts up and down as your e-brake goes. So you want to make sure that's moving freely. There's a little tab right here that it rests on. If it's not resting on that, then it hasn't fully released, and you'll want to make sure that it is fully releasing. So if you believe that it is fully releasing, then that's probably not your problem, but you do want to check that the cable slides in and out easily and all of that. But I've already checked all of those and it's still binding. So what I'm going to do, I want to clean up this channel here. You can see it's kind of dirty. So I've got my wire wheel, and I'm just going to clean in there with the wire wheel like that and like that, front and back. On mine, the back one, I actually had to pry it out with a screwdriver because it was so tight. If you can't get in there well, you can pop this frame right off. In fact, I might do that here just to get that wire wheel in there. But once it cleans out, you want to make sure that those pads slide in and out easily. They should be free, like slide freely. If they stick at all, then that's going to be your problem. Once we're done, I'm going to put this all back together. I'm going to push the brakes, lock this rotor up so that it doesn't spin, take my foot off the brakes. If it doesn't spin like this when the brake's released, then that means you still haven't fixed the problem. So you can go and clean this again, or check up here, make sure that this is retracting every time. You should see it squeeze and then come back out. If it doesn't come back out, then it's probably a seized caliper. I was using my grinder here, my air grinder. It wasn't taking it off very well. So what I did was got a file, and I just filed inside here. You can see how much shinier that is. Do you see how shiny that is? So all I did with this file, I just went like this and kind of made sure to get the edges and the flat part. It's real hard to see, but the edges, the flat part, and just file the whole thing down until you can see shiny metal. And if you do that for both sides, I haven't actually done the other side yet. If you put these clips in, and the clips can only go one way. See how there's a long part here and a not long part? If you try to put it in the wrong way, I'll get the other clip to show you. It doesn't quite fit right. and it's not square in there. So you know you're doing it the wrong way if that happens. It should sit in there nicely, just like that. And then when I stick the pad in, this is the side that was actually really tight, so it'll be interesting to see if it slides now. Oh yeah. So already, all I'm trying to do is just slide this up and down in here. This wouldn't even slide like this before. So this was so tight I actually had to push it out with a hammer to get it out. So I'm going to file the other side as well, and then this will slide in and out of here really well after that. So there you can see how much shinier that is now. And that's all it took, just that little bit. I did all the filing on camera. The other side's the same. So we're going to stick these in as a test fit. And if it slides nicely, which I believe it will, because these clips don't even want to stay in anymore. That's how clean it is. So there, the clips are in. Is that in? Oh yeah. That slides so much nicer now. It's almost full floating, which is what you want. It's got to float. I don't know if you can see that, but it was not that loose before. Now, some people have also greased these, and I think I'm going to, just because I have a binding issue. So I'm going to grease them, and then I'm going to put them back in and test them out. For the grease, I'm just using a regular multi-purpose grease. And all I'm doing is just dipping the backs in just to get some grease on there, like that. And like I say, you don't have to do this. In fact, when the brakes get hot, most of this grease is going to burn off, but it doesn't hurt. So, I'm gonna put this back on. You're going to have an awful angle at this, but it is what it is. Now, you can see how easily that moves and how easily that moves. These did not move this easily before. In fact, that one just popped right out on me. Now, you should hopefully catch this before your rotor looks like this. I'm not replacing the rotor until I know for sure this is fixed, and then I'm going to buy new rotors and put new pads on. So, next thing you're going to do is just put your caliper back on, and it should fit. You should not need any special tools or anything to get it on there, because we didn't adjust anything. We're using the same pads with the same setup, so it should just pop back on. You don't need to mess with that, turning that in or anything. You remember I said you should be able to turn this, right? Like that. So I'm going to go push the brakes and then come back and see if I can turn it. Okay, so I've pushed the brakes. Now I'm going to try this again. And it still rotates. Now before I did this, when I pushed the brakes like that, it wouldn't rotate afterwards. It was just binding up. So I know that it's a lot better now. I'm going to have to drive it just to see if it's actually fixed. So I'm leaving the old parts on until I know it's fixed. Once I know it's fixed, I'll buy new parts, put them on. I believe that should fix the problem. So if your Ford Flex has a sticky rear brake rotor, like what mine does, or any other vehicle, you can check the same thing, but the Ford Flex is known for this. That's where I would check. Make sure you check everything that I just checked, and that should fix your problem. Hey, thanks for watching another GT Canada video. We got lots of great stuff in store, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can stay up to date on all the latest stuff as we upload it. Comment below and watch the next video.